unprofessionalism. Sorry about the informal video. Can you be quiet? Oh my god, this guy, I swear to god. Sorry about that. Anyway, sorry about how unprofessional this video is. My cameraman's not here. Shout out to Chris Ruffeisen. Something about I don't feed him. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the reason why I had to make this video is I was just sitting here reading this book about the history of Thai comics and comic books. Shout out to Patrick Gallion, he gave me the book, and I was drinking this coffee. Shout out to Ethiopia, black people make coffee, never forget. Anyway, I was just here doing that, and someone messaged me about paint. Yes, what paint do I like that I like to use, and blah blah blah. And I realized a lot of people don't know things about paint, and I thought I'd talk about it. And what does that paint say about you? So, let's begin. The first paint, oil paint. Yes, oil paint. The king of paint, if you ask me, if I do say so myself. And I have the Picasso brand here, right there. Yeah, Picasso. After I paint with this, I go beat up women. Anyway, oil paint. Oil paint is the blendable paint. What does that mean? It means you take two different colors and they come together seamlessly. Oh my god, it works so well. It's candy to your eyes. It looks very nice, very vivid colors, if I do say so myself. Also, a lot of people don't know, but oil paintings get you laid. Yes, oil painting gets you laid. If you tell someone, oh, you paint? Yes, I do. What medium do you use? Oil. The underwear comes right off, let me tell you. So, oil painting gets you laid. One of the cons I think about oil paint is it's like baking a cake. You need a lot of ingredients to make this happen. You need turpentine. You need linseed oil. You need all different types of liquids. There's the dries. There's all types of mediums. I mean, it just fills up all this video, wherever I'm going to put it. It fills up the whole thing. It's like being a chemist trying to get the right consistency. It's crazy. One thing I do like, but some people might not like about oil paint, is that it's always wet. Yes, it's always wet. And that's the secret. That's the secret too. The Mona Lisa. Why is the Mona Lisa so popular? It's because she's still wet. She's wet. Anyway, yes, it's still wet. Probably to this day. Who knows? The only thing that I don't like what people say about oil paint is that they lie to you guys. These YouTubers, these art teachers, they tell you guys to put on gloves, put on the gloves, make sure the oil paint isn't in the sun, keep it away from heat, or it could catch on fire. Oh, this is so bad. Listen, oil painters bathe in turpentine, okay? They want things to combust and burst into flames, because all oil painters are nihilists, okay? And you can't prove me wrong. Acrylics. Yes, acrylics. Acrylics is the most well-known of the paints. It's everywhere. You can't get rid of these acrylics. It's so many different types and so many different people use them. It's a spectrum. Yes, a spectrum. It's the LGBT ABC of the painting world, in the sense of, on one side of the spectrum, it's the most boring people you will ever meet. Yeah. And on the other side is insane homeless people. Yes, these boring people, they just buy these paints and they just want a little bit of Bob Ross in their life, a little bit of light. And then you have insane homeless people putting paint on sticks, yelling at canvases and walls. It's a wide variety, the acrylic people. It also is very fast drying. I mean, you're painting on the canvas, you turn, come back, boom, dry. And this gives the acrylic people a lot of time to put on their clown makeup, because they are fools. They are jokes, the acrylic people. I mean, they need all these types of gels just to make sure their painting looks professional and not like a children's Halloween experiment. Yes, they need all these different types of gels for making it glossy, matte, all thick, thin, all these types of things. And I mean, if we know anything about all these different types, it's just like the acrylic people's failed relationships. They have many of them. And if we learned anything about gels from early 2000s white men, it's douchebaggy. Yeah, I'm looking at you guys. Anyway, that's acrylics. Next up is we have, of course, watercolors. Watercolors, look at them, so innocent. And you can, look, you have so many, and it's so small, so compact. So you can carry it anywhere with their little paintbrushes, and oh my God, and it's everything so small, just like the people's hands and private parts that use them. Yes, oil painting and acrylic painting, they might disagree a lot, but watercolors is for children. It's for children, okay? Yes, we can all hear the screams of the water painters who use this professionally. But water painters don't paint, right? They stain the canvas and paper that they use. Yes, they stain with their watercolors. Watercolor painters are the same kind of people that are outside smoking a pipe or something as they paint some sunset or a tree, thinking about the philosophy of life, when we all know they're the worst kind of people. I mean, Hitler was a watercolor painter, so there you go. Do I need to say any more? I think not. I rest my case. Next up is, of course, gouache. Yes, gouache. Gouache, or as I like to call it, the bisexual of the painting world. Yes, gouache can't decide what it is. Does it want to be like watercolors and be horrible? Or does it want to be like acrylic and just boring, crazy? So it can't decide. It wants to do two things at once, and it can also come in jelly paint? Jelly paint? What are you, a Studio Ghibli film? Like, so it can't decide what it wants. But listen, we live in today's world. I can't kink shame, so do whatever you want. But listen, if this was Picasso's time, yeah, you know what would happen to you. You know what would happen to you. Okay, gouache people? I was gonna end the video there, but there is a type of people, a type of paint. I don't own it, but you probably seen it. It's called tempera paint. Tempera paint. The reason why you've probably seen it, it is probably in any sort of craft store you ever been to, Walmart, whatever, wherever you've been. It's these gallon drum paints, usually used for paint and sip classes for white women to gaggle and get drunk at. But a lot of people don't know this. There are people who are probably called tempera paint, tempera paint. These people are the same people that buy the dry pigments and they mix it with eggs. What is this, a baking class? Or glue or something like that? And then they paint smoking outside, thinking there's some European before the Renaissance, before the oils came and ruined everything. You know, making frescoes and stuff, thinking they're in the Byzantine times of Rome or something like that. Listen, these people are insane. They're just living in a fantasy land, okay? It's a forgotten paint, and it should stay forgotten, in my opinion. Anyway, that is the paints. And any other type of paint doesn't matter. You tell them Daniel tell you. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much. And you want to say anything? That's what I thought. Anyway, adios, bye-bye, have a nice day.